Today I'm going to be addressing a question that people write on the internet a lot, and that is, should you tell your kid that they are autistic? Yes, you should. If you know your kid is autistic, you should tell them that they are autistic. Now, I am still not diagnosed. I'm going down the route of getting diagnosed.
Fully. You
Yes.
were partially diagnosed.
Though it does say autism in my medical files now, which
That's why I say I think you're partially diagnosed.
When I was growing up, I didn't get diagnosed autistic. So my parents didn't hide from me that I was autistic because they didn't know I was autistic. So it's not like I can go saying, oh, I'm autistic and my parents hid it from me because they thought it would go away and now my life sucks. I can't say that, but with the increased rates of autism diagnosis, it's getting more and more likely that your kid may have an autism diagnosis in the future at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not a bad thing. It means that they can get help that they need. Now, some people often ask me, how did you figure out you were autistic? And I'll answer that. When I was in first grade, and around then, I just started noticing that more and more people were different from me and acted different. And the thing I say is it often felt like everyone just went to being normal school one day and didn't tell me. And I was in and out of therapy for a while for different issues, and they thought I had a lot of different things like ODD and OCD and a couple other things. And I did realize very early on that I was different somehow. And I didn't know what that meant. I thought I was just stupid or a failure in some way.
Not stupid. They just didn't understand.
And by they, we mean like the whole medical community and everyone, not any one person.
Well, it's because it didn't become a widespread, more understood thing.
Until
And
just a year
and
ago.
even now, it's not fully understood. And it didn't become even more so accepted until more recently. And it's still not fully accepted either.
Now that I know I'm autistic, I can figure out why I was the way I was in certain cases, and I know I'm not an idiot, I'm not stupid, I'm just autistic and different.
You're literally wired differently.
But I can guarantee you, your kid is going to learn pretty early on that there is something different about them.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to think they're just an idiot. And when I was in 5th grade, I saw a video online about autism and what they then talked about as Asperger's syndrome. And I knew right then and there that I had it.
Yeah, and also you already addressed that the A word is not appropriate anymore.
Yeah, we don't say Asperger's anymore. But in 2007, when I found this video, we did.
Yeah, because it was its own classification because it was kind of separate there for a while, just because it seemed separate.
Yeah, exactly. Now, some people often ask me, but Mike, your dad's a doctor. Why didn't he figure out you were autistic? Well, he went through med school in the late 90s when we just didn't talk about autism the way we do now.
Yeah, that was almost unheard of.
And he doesn't work with any mental health patients or kids in general. He works at the hospital as a hospitalist. So
yeah, your dad focuses on adults and not really mental cases.
So he's basically like a general doctor, but at the hospital.
Yeah, he's a general physician.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. He just doesn't work with autism as much as other kinds of doctors do.
Well, and to kind of like make that a little bit more, it takes a specialist to really see it and actually diagnose it.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, you should tell your kid that they're autistic and that there is nothing wrong with them and everything is fine, and not try and hide it from them or act like it's a bad thing. One of the reasons Autism Speaks is bad is because they have resources for parents who've just found out their kid is autistic, and it reads a lot in the same way. Like, you might see something that says, so you've discovered your child has cancer, or that your child is going to die soon.
Yeah, and that's pretty messed up. That's very demented. Like, you guys don't have a changed lifespan because of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, when's the last time you've heard of an old person with an autism diagnosis? Never,
Yeah.
because they never got diagnosed.
Yeah, and they would just say they're very strict old people that...
Are crabby.
Yeah. But they're crabby because it's not the way it should be for them.
I do know a couple of older people who I am pretty sure are autistic. I will not say who they are, but I do know them, and I've met a couple that I believe are autistic.
And it's mostly because of... And like, since being with you, I can see it in other people, and I know they're not diagnosed.
Mm.
But I know that they have autism because of... They have a narrow interest, the way they act...
Sensitivities,
how they are about food, because that's something that's almost undeniable. You guys all have an issue with food.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's markers, and it makes it that it's easy to point out. And like, I know that I have some people I know, and I won't say names either. I'm positive that they're autistic at some degree, and I mean, but they are later in life. They're 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And yeah, it just was something that was not there. Not until late 90s and early 2000s, and even then it was very, very misunderstood.
But do you think these older people you're talking about have probably wondered why the world worked differently for them at some point?
And yeah, and that caused them to be crabbier.
Exactly.
Because the world doesn't work the same way all the time.
Yeah. Now again, my parents didn't hide it from me because they didn't know, so there's nothing to fault them for.
But if you know, then it helps you to understand what might be going on. Because there's more stuff, like more resources that are available to help you as a neurotypical understand, and also help the most recent diagnosed autistic understand themselves, because they'll just think something's wrong with them until they're told, no, you're just different. And that can help them not end up doing drastic measures to hurt themselves, or self-destruct, I should say.
Yes, self-harm is a big problem within the autism community.
Well, it's because you guys don't believe in yourselves because you're so different from everybody.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Alright. Anything else we should add on this one?
I don't think so.
Add another good idea for video.
Oh boy.
Alrighty. Take care, guys.